everybody, Beaky here again for our nature diary, and today is February the 28th, so it's still officially winter, and you can tell that this morning because even though the sun is shining, there is frost on the grass. We'll go and have a look at some in a minute.
Can you see the frost here on the grass? It's quite white, isn't it? It's where the water droplets have stuck to the grass, and then in the cold air last night, the water has all frozen. But the sun's melting it quite quickly now. This is still in the shade. Flo, we haven't got time to play. We're doing our nature diary.
Oh, look here, Mrs. Waters. There's some pretty purple and yellow flowers. What were these called again?
They're called crocuses.
But they weren't here last week, were they? Why?
Well, you can see the fence behind. That's stopping the sunshine in the morning, which means the ground here isn't quite as warm, and that means that these bulbs have taken longer to wake up. I think we might find a few more crocuses there next week. So we come round the corner to where the bulbs are in a much sunnier place.
Gosh, they've grown a lot in a week, haven't they?
They have.
Look how tall they are, but the flowers aren't out yet, are they?
No.
Will they be out next week?
Maybe. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll come again next week and find out. Let's go somewhere else and see what else has changed.
What are these under the hedge, Mrs. Waters?
Those are nettles, Beaky. They're growing at the moment because there are no leaves on the hedge, so the sun can get in.
Oh, there's the cat. I better move quickly. I think I'd better go before the cat gets me. Mrs. Waters, do they have the same season all over the world? Is it nearly spring everywhere?
No, Beaky, it isn't. It depends where you live on the world. We live in a temperate zone with 4 seasons.
Does that mean that there are some people right now who can paddle in the sunshine and the sea?
Yes, because even though it's winter here, somewhere else on the world it will be summer. So they will be able to go paddling in the sea. Right, Beaky, we've come across to the kitchen garden, but not a lot's changed.
Why is that, Mrs. Waters?
Well, I need to do some jobs.
Is there a lot to do?
Yes, lots. I need to dig over the soil and put some food on top of it, something like manure or compost, because last year the plants that grew there have taken away some of the goodness, so we need to put some back with some fertiliser. And then I've got to get rid of the sprout stalks, and it's been a little bit wet to get any of that done this week, so I'll tell you where we could go though. We can go and have a look in the greenhouse, because I've planted a few seeds. Let's go and see what's happening to those, okay?
Here we are inside the greenhouse. There's lots in here, Mrs. Waters. Will you tell us what some of the things are?
Yes, Beaky, let's go and have a look. So, there are the radishes. Now, they've been planted in a special container called a propagator, which helps to keep the seeds warm. So, it keeps them out of the drafts. Here's one underneath that has the lid on. You can see the water inside will drip down and keep the soil nice and moist so that the seed can grow. Now, a little bit further along, we've got some cauliflower seedlings, and they're starting to get quite tall now. Up here, we've got some cress. Now, that won't last very long, but behind the cress, just starting to sprout, you can see some tiny little seedlings which are going to turn into pansies. And on this shelf here, we've got the sweet peas. Now, they were planted about 3 months ago, and they have been growing through the winter, and they're really starting to grow quickly now, so it will soon be time to put those out in the garden. And then down here, we've got rocket. Rocket has been growing all winter. I keep picking that to eat in my salad. Beaky quite likes that too. And on this shelf, we've got some strawberry plants in pots. And finally, down here, there's a plant which almost looks dead, but hiding down near the bottom, you can see some tiny little green leaves, and they have just appeared this week. This is going to turn into a fuchsia, which is a beautiful plant with pink flowers. Okay, Beaky, well, we've seen a few things around the farm and things have changed quite a lot, haven't they? But I'm going to go on a nature ramble and see what else there is in the countryside to show you, things that you might find interesting. Okay. So, Beaky, I'd like you to stay here, please, if that's okay. And then if anybody comes to see me, you can always fly over and find me. Oops, there's Buffy. The cats are always following us round, aren't they? I wonder why. Do you think it's because they might be after Beaky? Perhaps. Hope not. Don't worry, I won't let them get you. So this is the Great Wood, and at the moment there are no leaves on the trees. That means that these are deciduous trees. They lose their leaves in the autumn and they grow some new ones in the spring. So out here in the country you can see a giant field, and this has been planted with a crop, and it's February the 28th and you can see that already the crops are growing. We've just seen a hare go running across the path in front of us. Hares look like very large rabbits, and they don't live in burrows like rabbits, but at this time of year they're starting to box, a bit like kangaroos do. If two male hares meet each other, they will fight. They're looking for a mate. Look in this picture here, at the front there seem to be lots of green leaves, and they're the old brambles from last year. But behind, under the trees, they're just leaves there. Nothing much else will grow because in the summer, when the trees have all their leaves on them, the light can't get through to the plants beneath. So here I am on the common, which isn't far from the farm, and you can see the common is just very light coloured grass at the moment. It's far too boggy to grow anything. A field where they grow things is called an arable field, so a farmer who only grows plants is called an arable farmer. If the farmer has sheep or pigs or cattle, that's cows and bulls, they have livestock. You keep things in a stock cupboard. They keep live things, livestock. And in the spring, the sheep will come back onto the common to nibble away at the grass. But at the moment, the farmers have got them in their barns because they're all having their lambs. So the common is a nature reserve, and that's because there are some special animals and plants here that you don't find in many other places. There's a moth on this common that is only found in 3 places in the whole of the United Kingdom. We'll learn more about the animals and the plants on the common later in the year as the seasons change. This is a gorse bush, and gorse bushes, that's a tongue twister, gorse bushes like damp conditions to grow in. So there are lots of these on the common, and they're just starting to turn yellow. Another sign that spring is really on its way. On this tree you can see lots of old seed pods. These are from last year, and all of those seed pods will be empty, and hopefully they'll fall off fairly soon while the new buds and leaves start to grow. On the ground here you can see some celandines. Some people mistake these for buttercups when they first open, but they're a nice yellow flower, and hopefully they'll be open soon. So if you look in this picture here, at the front there seem to be lots of green leaves, and they're the old brambles from last year. But behind, under the trees, they're just leaves there. Nothing much else will grow because in the summer, when the trees have all their leaves on them, the light can't get through to the plants beneath. Well, I'm back home now, and Beaky is fast asleep in his nest, safe away from the cats.
I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm going to put a few photographs on for you now, which are other places very close to the farm. You might want to stop them and have a look at them, maybe chat about what you can see. But as the year goes on, we'll be keeping an eye on all of these places and seeing how they change through the seasons. So I look forward to seeing you next week on March the 7th. Okay, bye.